Okay, so I got a one of the Merlocks sent to me to play around with, do some testing on, from Chris at mortartubes.net, and I've been messing around with this a little bit, and it's pretty cool. For anybody that doesn't know what this is a sequencer that is able to be programmed digitally from your PC. So you can shoot, essentially you can shoot a pyromusical with it. You know, you can script something in Finale or ShowSim, and you can load it into the unit. You can load the script into the unit and shoot it digitally. Something else that you can do with these, the little Merlock, is that you don't have to use it as a digital sequencer. You can use it, it's got, I think, 9 pre-programmed sequences. Like if you wanted to do it the easy way and just do a comet run or something like that, it's super simple to do. I'm still learning on this also, but until we turn it on, it'll run through, all the LEDs will light up, it'll run through, and then it will, your main light will flash. To use one of the pre-programmed sequences, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is hit this left button, and you'll see that, oh, there we go. You'll see that number 7's lit up, and then as you go through, there's number 8, number 9, number 10, 11, 12. I said that there are, I believe, 9 pre-programmed sequences. I think that, like, it's either 9 or 10 pre-programmed, but I think that, like, number 10 and 11 and maybe 12 are kind of like a preset feature, to where if you already script your own sequence in here how you want it, say you want to do a mine run, and then you want it to wait for a certain amount of time, and then you want to shoot some shells and then wait a certain amount of time, you can program that into this system, and then by having it set on, I don't know, I believe it's 9, 10, or 11, one of these cues here, then you can leave it set on that after you've scripted it, and then just by plugging, you know, one cue from whatever system you're shooting your show on, so say you're using a 32 cue system, and you want the sequence to start at Q12, whatever, you just run just your little jumper wire, a little scab wire, from, you know, Q12 on your system into the fire line, and as soon as it receives a pulse, it's going to activate your already scripted sequence that you wanted it to do, which is, it's a pretty cool feature. Something else that they've done here is he's taken and he's put 12 of the cues on the system here, okay? And then these 2 outputs are for the versatile ODA style slats to be used with this system. So what you do is you have the ODA slat, and then here you have an ODA slat, okay? So all you do is, that way, if you have, say, you know, a rack of shells that you want to go 1 through 12, and then something, it basically saves you a little bit of space, so you don't have to have everything in the exact same area that the unit is in to plug into this. If you want to have a 6-foot cable coming off of this, you can, and if you want to have a 25-foot cable coming off of it, you can. So what you end up having is, you know, you just plug your DB25 into here. So cues 1 through 12 are right here, and then 13 through 22 are going to be on this slat, and then cues 23 through 32 are going to be on this slat. So it just basically, it makes it a little bit more flexible, so you have more room to set your show up if you want to. So something I'm going to test on this is, since these are ODA slats and they're expandable, completely and totally expandable, what I want to test is, these are a standard slat that he sent me with it, which means that you've got the cable coming in, and then there's nowhere for it to go out. So this is basically a shunted slat. Okay, what I want to try to do is I'm going to take 2 series slats and a standard slat, and I want to see, as far as power goes, if it's got enough power I want to run 3 slats in series off of just this output right here, and I'm going to put 2 matches on each slat. So basically what it's going to be checking to see is if it has the power to pop 2 matches on each slat, if there's 3 slats in series. And the reason I want to check that is, if that works, what you can do with this system is you can run 3 slats in series. So that means that now, off of just these 10 cues, you'd be able to expand this system, because you could have a slat at a right station, a slat at your center station, and a slat at your left station, that every time it hits cue number 13, it's going to fire a cue at all 3 stations. And then if at cue 14, it's going to fire a cue at each of the stations. And then if you wanted to only fire a cue, say, in the center, you got a big shell or something in the center, then all you have to do is put a jumper in the 2 outside stations and put your match, whatever you want, in the center slat, and it will, it'll fire the center slat. So that's going to be a big expansion to this system that will be pretty handy. And then if that works, I may try to do 5 and see if it'll do 1 match each on 5 slats. I'm not sure if I'm going to try that or not. So I'm going to go grab some series slats, and I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, so what I did was I ran 1 cable out of the 13 to 22 output there. So the cable is running out into that side, coming out of here into this slat. That's a 25-foot cable. Into this slat, running out of that slat, into this slat, which is a standard slat that will end the series. Okay, I have 2 matches wired in series on each, number 1, and they're all right here. So what I want to see is all 6 matches pop. I'm just going to use the pre-programmed sequence on this, and I'm just going to ignite it. I'm just going to start the sequence with just a 9-volt battery, because that's all it takes, is a little pulse. So okay, so like I was saying, I'm just gonna to activate the pre-programmed sequence, or a sequence that you already have dumped into this, all you need is just a little pulse. So I'm just going to use a 9-volt battery to activate it. So let's turn the system on. Just ran through its self-check there, and I think I'm going to put it on a like maybe 2 seconds in between cues. 1, 2. Okay, we'll put it on number 4. Hit the right button here. It'll run through all the lights. Now what we want to see is the ready light come on. Okay, and there you see that the ready light is on. We're in armed mode, and put this right here. I'm just going to go ahead and touch these 2 wires to this. When it does, the sequence will start, and hopefully when it gets to number 13, all 6 matches will pop. So here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's running through all the cues that are on the main system here. There's number 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And they all went at the exact same time. So then we see, at least for that the system definitely has no problem popping that, which is pretty cool, because now, the way these slats are set up, basically that's how you would have your, if you wanted to use it like that, that's how you could use it out in the field with 3 different stations 25 foot apart, and those 6 matches they only cost you 1 cue. So we'll do some more playing around and see what else we can come up with. Okay, that last test was a pretty easy one. So now I want to try, in my shows, what I do is, for some of my fronts, I do 5 stations 50 foot apart. which requires a decent amount of voltage to pot matches all the way across, because you got a span of 250 foot. So what I did was I took, in a show, this would be sitting out in the field. So this would be at your first station. So there's a 6-foot cable here to the first slat, then a 50-foot cable to the second slat, 50 foot to the third, 50 foot to the fourth, 50 foot to the fifth. I have an E-match on Q1 of each one of these slats, and I want to see again if it'll pop all 5 of these matches. If it will, then again that would really show that this thing is totally expandable, because you can run, you know, huge lines of fronts. You know, that's 250 foot that you'd be able to run, and you could be able to pop 5 Qs, and it would only burn up 1 Q on the system. So you could have 5 mines, you know, a whole front of mines, and it would only take 1 Q, which would be nice. And you could do that on both of these, so that would give you, you know, there's 20 Qs here, but if you used them right, you could actually end up with 100 Qs just out of these 2 outputs, because, you know, you could run up to 5 slats off of each Q. So I'm going to do the same thing I did earlier. Oh, and then another nice thing about this is, say you're shooting your show from, you know, 150 foot away, or 100 foot away, whatever. You don't have to run a cable all the way from where you're shooting to this. All you have to run is the fire line, just a piece of shooting wire, you know, 100 foot. So you don't have to buy a big 100-foot cable to do it. All it takes to activate it is just a piece of wire, shooting wire. So, alright, so I'm going to turn it on, run through, let's see here. Okay, we're on 4, push the ready button, going to run through all the lights, I'll hit the button again, and we're ready. So again, what we're looking for is on Q13, we want it to pop all 5 of these matches. So we'll see if it works. Okay. Let's see. I thought I initiated it. Hold on. Let's try it again. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, here it comes. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, sorry about that, 4, and 5. Popped every match. That's cool. That's cool. That's a big front you just threw up across 250 foot, and it only cost you 1 Q, which is awesome. That's a good deal.